Now then, in this short video we're going to take a look at recommended down jackets for a winter summit, a winter attempt on Mount Toubkal. Let's just look at the conditions first before we look at the ideal sorts of down jackets that are suitable for this summit. You're talking about daytime temperatures possibly down to about -10 and nighttime temperatures roughly between -5 and -15, possibly down to -15 there, and potential for a medium rate of wind chill effect, but there is potential for wind chill effect, and it's at high altitude of course, so you may feel the effects of altitude on Mount Toubkal. Now the summit day, leaving the huts early in the morning, it is going to be very cold when you leave, getting geared up, putting your crampons on outside the hut and so on in the dark or in the very early part of the day. It is going to be cold, so a down jacket is going to be superbly useful at that stage, and ascending and on the summit of Toubkal, a down jacket is going to be absolutely vital. However, coming down off Toubkal, down into the big white snowfield, a big white snow bowl which really catches the sun. If there's no cloud cover, it really catches the sun in that area, so it'll be very warm in there, so you'll be taking the down gear off and very unlikely to require it. If the sun's out beating down on you, you really feel the effects of that. So what we're looking for here is a very lightweight equipment, high quality gear but very light, so that you can use it in the early part of the day and on the summit when you need it. Later on as you come down, there's a good chance you don't need it, so you're going to be carrying it in your rucksack, so you really feel the weight of it there. So we're going to look at 3 jackets here, warm enough but light enough. That's the critical thing here for a winter summit on Toubkal. I've got 3 jackets, one of them extremely light, at the very far end of lightness, and we're going all the way up to very light but very warm. So I'll show you the 3 jackets. First of all is the PhD Ultra jacket. It's a K series jacket filled with 1000 fill-power down. It's very light. The jacket here, a medium size Ultra jacket, weighs approximately 200 grams, so it's a really ultra lightweight piece of equipment. And in the case of Toubkal, I would suggest it's useful for a fast and light approach. If you're used to high altitude mountaineering, if you're used to that sort of cold and you want to go fast and light on this thing, the Ultra is a suitable piece of kit. It's got a typical operating temperature of -5, so it's not overly warm, it's not extremely warm, it's actually on the light side and on the only just warm enough side for a fast approach. Okay, so that's the Ultra, 200 grams, -5 degrees C, very lightweight. It's made in 1000 fill-power down and 7X fabric. It's been used primarily by ultra lightweight backpackers and racers, so it's right at the light end of what's possible. You could also consider another jacket very similar to this, and that's the Minimus jacket. Another very lightweight piece of equipment, but it's got extra features. It's got an extra pocket and so on, so just a little bit of extra weight there because of those features. But the first jacket we would suggest is suitable for a winter ascent on Toubkal is the Ultra, but as I say, it's for that fast and light approach, and it's really ideal for someone that's maybe done it before or been in these mountains before, or certainly been to these altitudes before and is used to this sort of environment. So that's the Ultra. The second I'd make a recommendation for is the PhD Alpine Ultra. Now this one is a little bit heavier, weighs about 295 grams for a jacket, medium size, and it's rated at -10, so it's really just ideal for a good day on Toubkal. I'll just run through it. It's a K series jacket. That means it's filled with 1000 fill-power down, the highest quality down in the world, and it's got the outer fabric here is now made out of PhD's Ultra Shell fabric. Ultra Shell is a waterproofed fabric. It's windproof, downproof of course, windproof, and it's got a proofing on it on the underside. It's actually got 2 spray-on proofings, one on the outer, which is a DWR coating, which means water will bead off it and run off the fabric. But on the underside of the fabric is another proofing. It's a permanent proofing. It's waterproof, windproof and breathable, so it's a really useful proofing. It can't be rubbed off, and it really helps prevent moisture getting through the fabric onto the down. So the Alpine Ultra really is ideal for Toubkal. Let's just run through the features of it. It's got 2 insulated pockets on the chest. That's high above the harness line and high above a hip belt of a rucksack. So the pockets are up on the chest. Ultra shell fabric outer, 1000 fill power down inside the garment, and 10 denier fabric, a very light 10x fabric on the inside, which allows the down to loft inwards, and it really allows the down to drape closely to your body. It's a short jacket. All these jackets are short, lightweight jackets. Comes down below the waist onto the hips. It's got a drop tail hem and cord lock adjustment on the hem, so you can cinch the jacket in close to your hips so you don't get any cold air getting in. Lightweight cuffs to stop cold air getting in. Lightweight lycra cuffs, keep the warmth in the sleeve. And then at the top here we've got a down-filled collar so that it really seals out the cold around the neck. It has an optional hood. Now this hood is very lightweight, helmet compatible hood, just big enough for a helmet. It's an optional extra, and it's zipped onto the jacket. It can be removed if you don't want it. But hoods are fantastic. If it's gone a bit cold, if you're really feeling the cold, if you've got a biting wind and you're really feeling the effects of the cold, a down-filled hood is significant in its addition to the warmth. It really encloses you, cuts out the wind, and really insulates around your head. So it has a big impact. So that's a lightweight hood, very, very useful. We've got a couple of other things to just draw your attention to. First of all, there's reflect on the front of the jacket and reflect on the zip pulls. There's reflect on the back as well. That's just a safety feature for nighttime location. That reflect will be picked up very quick by the beam of a torch. So that's just a safety feature. And then one other thing just to look at here on this jacket is this side panel. It's actually, we have it on the Ultra as well. It's a side panel, elasticated side panel. It's down-filled, it's made in the same fabric, so it's windproof, fully windproof, insulated, but we've made it with elasticated thread, and it just pulls it in closer to your body. And that's done just to make the down come closer to you and drape very closely to your body. So there we are, that's the Alpine Ultra, rated at -10 degrees C, and a very good choice for Toubkal in winter. Now I'm going to go on to something warmer here. Again, it's a lightweight jacket. It's got a weight of about 380 grams in the jacket form. This is the Yukon. It's available as a jacket or a pullover like this one. 380 grams, so again it's extremely lightweight equipment, but in this case it's got a typical operating temperature of -15, and that's because it's a box wall construction. Inside, between the outer fabric and the inner fabric, is a fabric wall, and that makes the down chamber deeper. It allows us to put more down, and it allows us to put more down inside, and it allows the down to loft fully, so you get a higher level of ventilation. So this is again a very lightweight piece of equipment, a short length jacket, comes down onto the hips, but considerably warmer. And now this is rated at -15, and I would say probably the best of the choices for Toubkal. It's the one I would take if I was choosing which jacket to take, and that's because at -15 it's giving you a lot of extra warmth that if you're going up if you're going up very early in the morning when it's still very cold, if you are feeling the effects, if you feel the effects of altitude, if you're not performing at your best, or if you're getting a wind chill cutting into you and you're really feeling the cold, then the Yukon is a very good option to choose. You've got this issue of not wanting the jacket potentially later in the day. You're going to be carrying it in your rucksack, so you want a very lightweight piece of kit. But early in the day, when you set off and when you're summiting, you certainly could well do with a lot of extra warmth and insulate a good level of warmth from your down jacket. So the Yukon really hits that brief. -15, only weighing about 380 grams, so really lightweight piece of equipment. I'll run through it. It's a K-series one. This is the pullover. K-series jacket, 1000 fill power down, ultra shell on the outer, so a water resistant fabric on the outer, 10x on the inner, lightweight fabric, and it's filled with this 1000 fill power down. The jacket and the pullover here has hand warmer pockets down at the waist. Now these pockets are, when I say hand warmer, what I mean is your hand goes under the down. Effectively the pocket bag is inside the garment. You're actually going through onto the inside of the jacket under the down, and that's fantastic if you're suffering with cold hands, if your gloves aren't enough, or if they've got wet and you're not comfortable and you really want to warm hands up. These are a very highly insulated place to put your hands and warm them up, and because those pockets are effectively being warmed by your body heat, the pockets are under the down, so they're being warmed by your own body heat, so they're a warm place. Really good. This one, on the pullover, actually, there's a unique feature that these pockets are through pockets, so actually you can put your hands in each side and they can meet in the middle. You can put your hand all the way through. That means that you can put your hand inside and rub them together. You can put your hands in and rub your hands together to really help warm them up quickly. So a really nice feature. The other thing here is there is another pocket in here, and that's a little security pocket, a second zip with another little panel. That security pocket is just for credit card or keys or something you really just want to leave alone but want to make sure they're there at the end of the day. Now we've got another pocket here on the chest, and this again is an insulated pocket. Brilliant for a hat or snug buff or something like that, but also, and snacks and things like that, and gloves, but particularly good for any electrical equipment you've got, like a phone, like a smartphone or a camera or a GPS. That pocket it's insulated, so the pocket is under the down, so it's a warm place. So it really would improve and help to maintain the battery life of any gear you've got with you. Just looking at this pullover, we've put a long zip on this pullover. Comes well down below the armpit level, so it's very easy to get this pullover on or take it off, but equally, because it's well down, this zip is very long. It really helps with ventilating the garment if you're overheating slightly. It comes with a down-filled hood, and the hood again, it's down-filled, and it's box wall construction, so a very warm hood makes a big impact if you're feeling the effects of cold. It's got it's removable. It can be taken off the garment if you don't want it on. But as I say, these hoods are very effective at cutting out the wind chill and really helping you to warm up. So that's the Yukon. We make a jacket, of course, and the Yukon is rated at -15. Now, all these jackets are suitable for a winter ascent on Toubkal. If you want to go very fast and light and you're used to the cold and know what you're doing, you're really used to this sort of situation, I'd say the Ultra or the Minimus, those two are the same warmth, -5. If this is a challenge for you and it's new to you, new area, then the Alpine Ultra is a good idea. It's -10, light and very suitable for this summit, and it packs down small and light when you don't need it. But really, the best of the bunch, the one I would take, is the Yukon. It's very, very warm, absolutely fantastic when you're really suffering with the cold, and if you're really feeling the effects of altitude and so on, having a bit of extra warmth is a smart thing to do. And because it's such a light jacket, 380 grams for the jacket, and because it's such light equipment, you don't really need to worry about that, and it pays to have a little bit of extra warmth with you. So for me, the Yukon is the one I would take, but all of those three are our recommendations for winter Toubkal. Okay, cheers.